CAA Micro Roni. They make these pistol caliber carbines. It's not a firearm, so it can be delivered straight to your house without going through an FFL. That's one great thing about these. You could also get a short-barreled version that would make you turn your pistol into a short barrel with a regular stock. That version it has a longer stock, but it works a lot better closed. You could still use the pistol closed. With the brace, you kind of can, but it gets in your way really. You probably want to fold it like that afterwards, but it still holds pretty good. There's different models you can get. You can get a completely stripped down version. That one's around $200 or so, somewhere in there. And I went for the complete package. I forget what the actual name of the package is, but it comes with the thumb ramps here, the set of fold down Ironsights. I have these on my AR actually. What else? Flashlight. This was, when I first seen this, I was like, and I heard how much lumens it was kicking out. I said, you know what, that's about the perfect size for an Olight S1 Baton. I have another version that I use for EDC. I use it for everything. Burns through batteries quick because I don't have the rechargeable version, but that's the exact flashlight they use. I don't know if you guys can tell if you own one. I mean, it is the exact same flashlight. Maybe in another slide, I'll put the two side by side, and you can really see the differences. That's a good thing. I really like Olight. Actually, because my EDC version has a magnet in the back end. There's times I'd throw it on my AR or shotgun when I'd just be out looking for critters, seeing what's going on, before I had the Streamlight light on there. And I would just click it on there, knowing that as soon as I took that first shot it'd fall off, but I could still go hands-free without having to, like I said, go get another light. That was something I just had in my pocket, and I wasn't using it in a tactical situation, just like I said, looking for critters. But besides the point, you have two release points here. You press in on both sides, and that will flip the flashlight around. I have no... Let me clear this firearm first before I start holding it back out. I have no idea why they have two paddles on it. Makes it look like it's ambidextrous, but it really isn't. Only one side will work the flashlight. So this is basically just aesthetics, I guess, just to even things up on both sides. But that's still not an issue. Whether right or left-handed, it could flip around. It goes either way. So no problem there. I was trying not to click it in so I didn't have to jack with it. But that's one feature. I don't know, about an $80 light if you get the titanium and the brass, brushed brass. I mean, prices can go up. So that almost pays for the package in itself. That's mostly what you're paying for, I'm guessing. You get this single point bungee stretchy sling. I usually don't like single point slings, but for this, I love it for pistol caliber carbines and submachine guns. They work great in that application. And you have a quick detach point on the bottom of the firearm. I don't know if this would actually be classified as a firearm without the pistol in it. But like I said, you don't need an FFL. You can just order them online and get it shipped directly to your house. No bullshit involved. Bull crap, I'm sorry. Pretty simple to take out. I'm sure there's a million videos, but if you're searching for and you just want to get a quick view of how it goes together, you'll see these red squares here. And make sure I'm kind of in frame. I can't tell. What you want to do is there's a button on the bottom here as well. You'll hold that in, push back on it, and then it just lifts up after that. And the pistol itself will come out. Just like on your Glocks, because this will fit. It says right there on the barrel which model it'll fit, but you can also get this exact model for the full size version, like the 17, whatever the numbers are for the other ones. There's too many numbers for Glocks, I get confused. But yeah, just like taking down a Glock, there's two tabs on the side here, same exact one on the other side. You'll hold it down and then just pull back on the pistol and it slides out. It's very solid. I was surprised. I thought there was going to be some shake or rattle in there, but when that thing is locked in, it is in there tight. Just the tiniest bit of rattle, but it's nothing you won't even notice when you're pulling up the chute. So I'm kind of doing this in a backwards fashion, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, so here is the charging handle that goes on top of it. You don't want to wiggle this up or pull this up at an angle. If you can, grab on the side and try to pull it straight up. I've noticed when I tried to wiggle it, there is some serrations in there. What they do is they fit right on your backslide rear serrations, or whatever you want to call it, but they're polymer, so when I was trying to dig it on there a little bit of the edge started to roll. You'll notice on this one I don't have my iron sight. I didn't realize when I got this, I figured I had to take my red dot off, but I also had a grip force adapter on the back that also had to come off in order to fit it in here. So just be aware of that if you're looking for this. That's something you're going to have to do. You can keep your rear sight in there. I just didn't put it back on yet because I wasn't sure what I was doing with this pistol. But this just simply goes straight on top. Try to keep this way. Try to keep the least amount of room between the back and the rear, and that'll get you locked in. But all you have to do is match up those serrations with your Glock slide serrations and just pop it down. Simple as that. And you can get a you could use it just like that if you wanted to. Actually works pretty good. But that's what's in charge of your firearm. It will reciprocate obviously inside the firearm. So let's do the reverse and put it back together. Same thing we just did, but in reverse. When you put your pistol in, make sure that charging handle lines up and slides in the back, and then just push it forward till it clicks. Check on it, it's in there secure. This back end, like I said, I had that beaver tail grip force adapter to keep away the Glock slide bite. I had to take that off because this won't completely close down if that's still on there. It might on the other models, I'm not sure, but for the Glock 19, 23, and 32, you have to take stuff like that off. Obviously red dots, if you have that Strike Industries mounting plate, I had to take that off as well. But your regular iron sights will fit on there. I'm not sure about suppressor height sights. Let me see what kind of clearance you got here. I'm guessing they would work as well. Oh, it's already open, that's why. Oh yeah, you should have plenty of clearance in there to get your suppressor height sights if that's what you want to do. I'm really starting to like this carbine. I was indecisive between this and getting an IWI Uzi with the brace on it. I wanted something light, compact, something I can have in vehicles, and just quickly, you guys know how small, especially the micro Uzis are. I just wanted something I could pop out and quickly, go to work or do something with. And the reasons I went with this over the Uzi, one, my local dealer didn't have them in. I'd have to buy extra magazines for the Uzi, and I'd have to go through an FFL. This, I chose the one I wanted and just got it shipped straight to the house. So they also make, like I said, an SBR'd version. It has a forward grip where you can stick an extra magazine in it, and it has a solid stock that folds. And you can actually get it shipped to your house before you get your tax stamp. But just be aware, you are breaking the law as soon as you put that pistol in there. Different states may vary, so don't go by off of this video, but just be aware of that. I've heard even just having the two in the same place at the same time, you could get in trouble for some reason if you'd happen to get pulled over or something. So just be aware of that. The brace itself kind of has a rubber feel like most SIG style braces do. I might end up taking this off. I'm not sure about the legalities of that, so I have to check that as well. But when it's folded up, it's a nice slim package, but it gives you that those 3 points of contact, so you can have a nice secure grip, and the recoil is pretty much nothing once you have, you know, that 9mm pistol up to your eye, in your shoulder, your support hand. It's very secure. This is going to give you a better range out of your pistol. This is going to give you better accuracy at range out of your pistol. I would recommend not going with the Ironsights, maybe as a backup if that's what you'd wish, but I would throw some type of small red dot on here, primary arms, red dot, aim point, you guys know the drill. Any of those style of micro red dots would fit perfect on here. Full length pick row. There is no barrel that actually goes inside here. On the full-size Roni, there is a full-size barrel that you put in, but obviously the whole setup is a lot longer. Safety, all it is blocking the trigger finger. It's easy to maneuver. I kind of like that feature, especially if it's in a bag, in a car, somewhere where something might get in that trigger guard, and I want to have this thing loaded, ready to go. Other than that, let's do some shooting and see what kind of recoil impulse we get. And also we get to test out the Glock 33 round magazine. So let's have some fun and see how I like this CAA Micro Roni. So it was a bright sunny day just about 5 minutes ago. All of a sudden this wind comes in and being gray clouds out of nowhere, so I'm trying to hurry this up. But one thing I forgot to mention, make sure if you have any kind of custom milling done to your Glock, this may not work with that charging handle. That's vital to the operation of that pistol. So that's something to be aware of as well before you purchase. Factory slide serrations will fit perfect in there, and they do a good job of holding up. So let's do some shooting. Like I said, the 19 fits in this. There's another model made for the 17 and other similar sized Glocks. But it'll be numbered on the barrel there to let you know which models fit in. And you can get other full-size versions of the regular Roni. This one's the Micro Roni. Let's do some shooting. Easy safety to manipulate. Slides down easily. All it is blocking your finger from accidentally going in there.
So right here I'm going to go over a few different shooting positions to see how they feel. Overall, that I'm very happy with this. Here I'm just checking out with this stock extended. It will work this way. The charging handle does fit inside the stock. In this position it feels very good. It kind of has a tendency to make you turtle up a little bit, but that's just the nature of the size of the pistol. Feels very natural this way. I would rather have a red dot on there. The Ironsights are a little close to your face as soon as you pull it up, but that's an easy workaround. If you're right-handed, it's very hard to shoot it folded, so you have to fold it after you have your hand on there, or else you can't get your hand around the grip to shoot it. It's very sharp on the edge underneath it, and this was hurting my hand when I tried this position, just shooting it like a regular pistol. It will work, but it's not the best that you can get out of it. This sling does come with it as well, so I tried it stretched out. This felt good as well. Obviously not as stable with the recoil as in your shoulder, but this does work. I love single point slings for this type of setup. And here I'm just seeing how naturally it points. It feels very good from the hip and points and aims naturally, so it's easy to do this way as well. I'm trying to show you. It's kind of hard to with your arm and or the shoulder brace in a way to get to the mag release. So I came up with a quick method of wrapping that arm brace around the outside of your arm to change magazines, and it works out very well as you'll see here in a second. Quick, easy to do, and it doesn't take much time at all, and it feels very natural. I was pretty surprised, but it is something you're gonna have to work around. I recommend getting some sandpaper and just hitting the edges up on the bottom with some very fine sandpaper. It does cut up your hand. Here is the slide release. You cannot charge your pistol and lock it open, but it will release. It will hit the slide release, it just doesn't lock it open. CAA makes these flip down iron sights. I also have them on my AR. You have the big hole for up close work with iron sights, and it will also flip around for a tinier hole to zero or to get distance shots. It also has a cut in the top to use it that way, like regular pistol sights if you wish.
So one other thing I kind of wanted to note on here, with the Micro Roni version, as with the original Roni, they give you a long Glock barrel that replaces your your standard size barrel for your pistol. That's in the full size Roni version. On the Micro, there's no added barrel to it, so the round is actually being released before it even exits. This is not a barrel, it's more of just a shroud. One good thing is it doesn't really get hot because there's not a lot of friction going through it. It is metal, I'm guessing stainless, I have no idea though. So temperature wise, even when I did a full mag dump with the 30 round mags, everything stayed pretty cool to the touch on the outside. One thing about that, how it's set up though, compared to where you actually get a barrel with it, a lot of that gas and carbon, lead, fouling, unburnt powder is getting released before it leaves. So just like on a suppressor, it's going to be really dirty. So this is after about 100 rounds. We're going to take it out and just see how dirty it actually got. I'm going to have to set this down for a second. Sorry, fellas. There we go. Oh yeah. You could see it's even changing the color on the outside of it. Almost looks like how titanium looks when it gets real hot. Yeah, so it's trapping a lot of those temperatures inside there. Guessing it's not too healthy for your pistol. I'm sure it will still work fine. Uh, Obviously this isn't, I could imagine though a full auto, like a Glock 18 running in this thing, just how hot and what would happen with all the gunk that builds up on the outside. So like I said, this was just 100 rounds today and it already is making it look like that. So just be prepared for that. So far it's just looking cosmetic. I'm going to take it apart. If I don't report anything other than that, it's just a cosmetic issue. But we're looking like we're getting some pretty high temperatures inside there. nothing's melting. This is the polymer all looks like it's still in great shape, but that's just something to be aware of. And this would probably be, it don't look too bad on the inside. I'm sure that can be wiped down, but it's not going to impede the function of everything. So all in all, not too bad, but just something to be aware of, something to think about. And I'm not sure if I've thrown it in yet or not, but this thing is sharp. Being the nature of polymer, and I'm sure it's some kind of injection molding process that makes these. It has a lot of sharp edges on the bottom here, and especially this little lip here kind of sits on the back web of your hand, and it might not come through on camera real well. And I'm sure if you had to use it, if you had to use this against somebody, it's not something you would even think about at the time. But to come out here and practice and shoot, you will start to feel it after even just a magazine. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this yet or not either, but it's kind of hard to, because of the way it sits in there, to get to that magazine release. We're used to, with your pistol, with the Glock, shooting it upward so you can get that thumb to that mag release and dump that mag. One way I kind of came up with a little bit is to dip that front end down and then put that brace on the outside of your arm, and it kind of sits there and you're already set up to use your mag release, and then bring it back around, fire whenever you need to reload, dip it, come around your arm, and then use the magazine release. It might sound a little bit uh, not complicated, but more steps, but when you do it, it's really fast, and it's probably not much slower than just tilting your mag up anyways to release it. So not too much of an issue there, but also something else to think about when you're doing all those movements and stuff. It's just, it tears into you up here. So maybe take some really fine grit sandpaper, or even if you're brave enough to use a Dremel and hit some of these sharp edges down, tape, uh, just MacGyver something up, and you should be good to go. Maybe not tape, because you would need to, unless you're just, it's a dedicated pistol to sit in there, you might need to release this to get back to your pistol. One thing that's great about this is it extends the capabilities of just having a pistol, and makes you a little bit more accurate and extends your ranges. That's one great thing about this. Any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. Uh, so far I'm liking it. There's a few things I think that could be fixed, but so far it would make an excellent vehicle gun, a home gun. I've seen one guy that suppressed it. I think he took this shroud out, did a little Dremel work, and just ran a suppressor straight to his pistol. That would make an excellent self-defense, especially home invasion type gun. Set it by your bed. That way you're not blowing your ears out. You already have your light here ready to go, and makes you a little bit more capable with your pistol. Another great thing about this, if you need to and you don't want to be pointing your firearm in directions, that's one good thing about this, is that it does pop out and you can use it one-handed. If there's no threats in the area, if you just hear a little sound or something, you're not too worried about it, you can do something like that, and then when you need to, pop it right back in. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you want to. If not, no big deal. I appreciate you taking the time to watch us. So here is the side-by-side comparison with the light that I mentioned before. I could probably pop this shell off and put this Olight S1 baton right in there. You can see they're exactly the same thing, same bottoms with the loop there. Oh, this one just has a magnet in it, and the clip taken off. That's why it's not ambidextrous. But this is a great light, kicks out 500 lumens for such a small package. It's basically, just a slightly bigger than the battery that it takes, which is a CR123, and this does come with a CR123. Same bezel, same body, just rebranded. I like it though, because I wasn't sure, if I could rely on, it doesn't say what kind of light it is. It just tells you the lumen output. But it's definitely exactly this light. It just rebranded.